Hallo, welcome to Friday's Inspiration Talk here in the group Gestalte Dein Leben, like always with Bridget Knight from
Cape Town.
Right, and Julia Schmitz from Frankfurt. So we are talking about today about limiting beliefs. What is a limiting belief? Perhaps, Bridget, you can explain this to everyone.
So a limiting belief is something that it started in childhood and it's kept you safe, it's protected you, it's given you an identity, and it's a story that you've created, which possibly you don't actually need anymore. So I'm going to share my limiting belief because I do get mentored once a week, and my limiting belief does come up. And my limiting belief is I was brought up in a home where you had to be busy all the time. So if you were not busy, there was something fundamentally wrong. So I've seen my self-worth and my value that I add as always being busy. And as an adult, I've realized that actually doesn't serve me. What's very important is to be mindful, to reflect, to take time. So actually being busy all the time, it doesn't serve me anymore. So now it's about identifying it, managing it, and then getting rid of that, working through it to get rid of that limiting belief. And this very much ties in, which is why we're covering it today, around finding your purpose, because maybe you're in a career where you believe that that's all you can do. I don't know. What's your take? What is your limiting belief? Do you have one?
Yes, I know one. I know for me, like limiting beliefs in German is the word is Glaubenssätze. You can learn this already. I know it. I didn't know it for a long time that you have like something within you unconscious in your unconsciousness that is always like let you act in a certain way because you have this limiting belief. Yeah. So I had I think my first finding or discovering of a limiting belief was in 2016, also very late, when I was first working with the coaches. It's a friend of mine in Brazil, and she did a certain method with me, just always asking the same question. It was like, what do you think? And she gave me the room of thinking, and it was always the same sentence, and I just and then I had the feeling that came up that it's so unfair that I can't earn money with creative jobs. And I just started crying. And there I realized this is something that really holds me, because who said that it's not possible? There are so many people who do it, like singers, artists, whatever. But I had the feeling from also my childhood. I realized, because my dad is a judge, my mom is a doctor, so nothing artistic or creative. So I got somewhere, or I took it over, I would say, because it's always the thing, how you reacted to the things in your childhood. It's not that your parents always like say, yes, you have to do it, but you realize, okay, they act like this. As a little child, you think, to be loved, I need to act like this. As you said, you have to run, or do something. If you don't bring a certain result, life is not worthy or whatever. And me, I had the feeling I'm not allowed to do an artist job or an artistical job or self-employed job. Because it's not a job for them. So, and they gave me this, even if I was a juggler since I was 18, it was always a fun thing, nice to sometimes earn a bit money. But if I would have, I had always the feeling, if I do this for a job, my parents don't like me anymore.
Yes.
It's hard, but perhaps it's not, but I never questioned it. That's the thing. I think that's a big point. If you have something in you what you never question, then it is also a limiting belief.
Or if there is something that recurs that comes up, I've become very aware that I work overdrive. I work in autopilot overdrive, which doesn't serve me, which is why I want to change it. So I think if there's things that you're doing that don't serve you, that possibly could be around the limiting belief, and that's worth looking at and seeing where you can make the changes if it doesn't serve you any longer.
Right. And there's also, I learned an interesting method as well to work with that. It's very well known in the whole world. I don't know if you know Byron Katie, The Work. And it's the thing, if you realize something is not working, and she just gives you 4 questions to to resolve this somehow. And it's always, you ask yourself, is that true? Well, as if you say, for example, I can't get out of this situation, and then you ask the person or yourself, is that true? And if they say, okay, yes, okay, and then you ask her again, is that 100% true? That's the second question. Yeah. And normally not, no? Because it's not true, because you can't change something. And then you ask yourself at the third question, how do you feel if you think this thought? As for example, I'm not worthy. So, and then you really feel it, and you will feel very, I don't know, depressed or whatever. And then the fourth question is always, how do you feel if this thought doesn't exist? And then people normally just go on and find new solutions. It's just that you realize how you make your body feel because of thoughts you are taking with you your whole life.
Exactly. And that's why it's if you are feeling that you are stuck in some kind of a rut or doing something you don't love to do, why not take time and figure out what it is you do want to do and find your purpose?
Right. And also like finding it, you can still work in the job, but then think, what do you love about this job? And what is tying into your purpose? Where do you feel well? And then you realize, okay, I like to talk to people, and I like to be in front of an audience, or I like to be, I don't know, silently in my room and work on something creative or conceptual. Yeah, like also like teachers, sometimes they have so many abilities, and then if they want to get out of the job, they say, but what can I do? I'm a teacher. But you are in front of an audience, and then you look if you like it or not, and then you take it to another job. Yeah, it's not true that you just learned one thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the thing is, we have like 2 minutes or so left, but still, do you have an idea for people who hear this now the first time, how to identify a limiting belief?
I do. So I think that if you are finding yourself doing stuff where you go on autopilot and you're thinking it doesn't make you feel good about yourself. So like what you were saying, kind of feeling a bit less than because you're not a judge, you're not a doctor, and thinking, okay, well, maybe I'm not a professional because I'm a creative. And maybe in my case, thinking I've got to be busy all the time in order to feel valued and to feel worthy. When actually, if you step back and think, you think, actually, that's not the case. So how can I work on that? So things that aren't serving you, behaviors, thoughts, ways of being, all of those things. And when something's not serving you because it doesn't sit well with you, on some level.
Yeah, and well, sometimes a sign is also how you feel. No? So if there's something you feel, I don't know, you feel depressed or you feel sad somehow because you're working somehow and you feel it's not fitting to me anymore, then you should perhaps ask yourself, or go on this way to also with a coach, like someone with us or someone else, but who helps you see this. It's a blind spot in a way.
What are your options? Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what we are doing in our program as well. Find your purpose. We are going to start soon. And we put you again, this link under this video where you can book a little talk with us for 30 minutes. And then we see if you want to travel with us inside and shift your life 1 degree or more.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the talk, my dear.
Thank you. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.